Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Let's Play with author J.P.Edgar, where this guy plays some games he's never really played before, and today we are continuing our journey with RainCode on the Nintendo Switch. So without wasting any more time, let's get going. Let's get going. How you doing? How are you all doing today? And it's a Holy Smoke Saturday! Holy Smoke Saturday, yes, the weekend has hit us. Oh, man. I had major allergies this week. I was out of commission for a couple of days. That includes Thursday. Wasn't really able to do much adulting or functioning or anything of the sort. But it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Doing good. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. So apparently the Northern Lights were supposed to be in the area this weekend. I went outside at 1 a.m., looked up, nice clear sky, stars everywhere, no Northern Lights. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I go to sleep, wake up today, go on Facebook, and people are posting Northern Light pictures. Check this out. What the heck? Wait, what's going on here? Oh, yeah, that's right. I had to break that stuff. I had to break that.
First car was separated from the train?
Yes. I was overthinking and underthinking things at the same time. That's right. When people are posting Northern Light pictures, I'm like, what the heck? Apparently they drove way up north for like and up the mountains and stuff like that, and I kind of didn't.
What? Seriously?
The reason why the main control system failed was because the first car was cut off from the rest of the train we were riding in.
Let's keep going for now.
So far, my original theory is sounding solid. That's the funny thing. Game audio is a little quiet, huh? All right, we'll try that. Any better, chat?
Master, I don't really get it. What do you mean the first car was cut off?
The shaking happened just before the blackout, right? Huh? Did it just shake?
Shaka.
What was that? The lights went out for a moment and came back on. At that time, the first car was disconnected from the rest of the Amaterasu Express. As a result, the main control system failed, and after a brief blackout, it switched to the backup.
But why cut off the first car? Why go through all that trouble?
Of course, to move the body in the train car. To do that.
Oh yes, Shinigami mommy. Pull my chain, baby. Yeah.
There it is again! It's bigger than ever!
It's actually blocking the sides.
How much longer will this keep happening? I feel like I'm going to suffocate.
Now's not the time to be suffocating!
Besides, do you even need to breathe here? That's the thing that would be concerning me is the whole slitting of the throat. The body was transported along with the entire car.
Given that the first car was cut off so that the body could be moved. Right. I think I see what happened.
Seems like you got it! Let's do this! Lay it all out, Master!
Lay it all out, Master. Just pulls a barrel out of thin air, then changes clothes in the middle of all this stuff. So I think it's car. So let's do. Oh, missed it. There we go. No, come back, A. Correct. Does she have a little tattoo on her, well, right about here? She does. Like, this makes absolutely no sense. This entire scenario with the windows, not the windows, the graphics and stuff. How does it progress? I don't know. You know what? Let's just move on.
That's right. He transported the corpse using the entire first car. That's why the first car was disconnected.
Transported the corpse? With the entire car?
Yeah.
Nonsense. Shut up!
Actually, you have 3 P's, so it's more like a.
The first car is at the front of the train. Apex's corpse was in the 5th car, in the back. Even if you detach the front car, how do you move it all the way to the rear?
Easy, there was a split.
Master, don't be scared. Lots of villains transform after they've been cornered.
Calm down.
Yeah, there was a split in the cave. That's as simple as that.
Just swap the position of the first and 5th car. If I can answer that, I can solve this mystery
Solve it
for all.
once and for all.
How did it happen?
That reminds me. Master, earlier when you were talking about the shaking and mentioned the blackout only happened once, but the shaking happened twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it definitely shook 2 separate times. Right before entering the tunnel, and right after leaving it. The first time was when the train car was disconnected. But what about the second? Something happened to the train then, too. The shaking at the end of the tunnel felt similar to when Car 1 disconnected.
There's no point thinking about it. You're stuck in this labyrinth for all eternity.
Master, here it comes! You gotta solve the mystery and defeat him!
Your deductions aren't worth a damn thing. Because they're all wrong from the very beginning.
Well, thank you very much, Mystery Phantom Zilch, for explaining that to me. That's why I was correct at the end. See, that's how it worked. All right. So, what kind of clues do we have to work with? What kind of keys do we have to work with today? Reasoning deathmatch. Red herring route map. We'll go with the route map.
So it shook twice near the tunnel.
Oh no, not that one. Switch solutions. I forgot how to switch solutions. Give me a second. Rebuttal / noise.
You mean the train car was
Why? There we go. There we go.
separated and connected? Why would that even matter?
Okay, we're back into it.
Separate car one.
I hate being
How could it be
tethered with this stupid.
the rear?
No, what did I do? I pushed the shield.
Always running on the same tracks. There's no way to shuffle the train cars around.
That's true.
Ouch.
For now,
I hate being tethered. I hate this. Because I talk with my hands, I keep tugging on the cord. But unfortunately, the Switch doesn't allow for dual outputs of audio. So the only output of audio I can do is from the Switch to the computer. And the computer, for whatever reason, does not want to connect to my Bluetooth earbuds with a solid connection. It's frustrating.
So it shook twice near the tunnel.
That's actually
What of it?
one of the reasons why I prefer PlayStation games over Switch games because
You mean the train car was separated?
because of the audio.
Why would that even matter? Even if you managed to separate car one, how could it be moved to the rear?
I wanted to push X to slashes.
Always running on the same tracks. There's no way to shuffle the train cars around.
There we go.
Here's the truth.
No. At that time, not all the cars were moving on the same track. The track that the Amaterasu Express was on separated into double tracks right before entering the tunnel.
Double tracks? So beautiful.
So by taking advantage of the double tracks, it's possible to switch out the train cars.
Yeah. All right, we're going back to 80 television.
Before entering the tunnel, which was caused by car 1 separated. After that, the separated car 1 entered the other track, while the rest of the train proceeded on the main track. The two tracks rejoin after the tunnel. That's where car 1 connected to the end of the train. This is when the train shook for the second time.
It's still implausible, but yeah.
First car moved all the way to the back.
Normally, it's impossible for a single train car to function on its own. But the Amaterasu Express is special. The control system will supply electricity as programmed and drive the train. But all train cars on the train have motors that run autonomously.
If each train car can operate autonomously, then car 1 can function on its own.
Yes.
Doesn't that solve everything? It's time you gave up.
No,
Oh, I give up.
that's
Fine.
crazy.
Huh? What?
Using your method to rearrange the train cars would connect the first car to the end, which would leave it behind the fifth car. In other words, it becomes the sixth car, but that doesn't exist.
Correct.
So, you're telling me you found Apex's corpse in the non-existent sixth car?
Oh, you're right.
But you're forgetting one important question.
You're the one who's wrong. Everything you've deduced is wrong.
Okay, so far, following the same path here.
Lies just ahead of us. I will prove it to you.
80s rock band, we're proud of this outfit. Yep, just pulling out a barrel in the middle of combat. Alright, what am I doing here? Question. From the start, the Amaterasu Express was a... Really? Just one? There's just one of them? Okay. I can do that.
You can do it wrong. Tick tock, tick tock.
No, it was a 4-car train. I was thinking about what the Afix said, and I was thinking 6. Alright, well, that kind of is more plausible.
Maybe
If
the
only
Amaterasu
just.
Express doesn't have 5 cars. What if there were only 4 cars to begin with? If that's the case, then to me, car 1 could be made to look like car 5.
Which would also explain the burning of the car number because of the fire.
So there weren't 5 cars the whole time, but instead 4?
I was actually thinking a car swap, kind of like you got 5 cars that go to the tunnel, 1 car goes in here, but then a second car was over here and took its place type of deal. But okay, this makes sense too. I'll work with that.
That's why Melanie said the 5th car's door was broken while we were in transit.
But you can
And that's what,
access the 5th car.
and to me, that's kind of what gave way that there was a
The
car
door
swap
appears
is.
to be broken and so it wasn't broken. The 4th car was actually the farthest one back from the get-go?
I'm sure the real 5th car was left behind at the station when we departed. So the train took off with only 4 cars. There was another car 1 at our destination. If it connected upon arrival, then the train would have 5 cars again.
So I was half accurate in my
So the car
assumptions.
one where I was knocked out became the fifth car at the end of the line. And when I was questioned by the peacekeepers, the car one there was another car prepared at the station specifically for this plot.
Ah, specifically for the plot.
The real car one was waiting at the station's platform, and all the peacekeepers there would have noticed it. So they were all in on it.
Or you can assume that the peacekeepers themselves were the ones who prepared the other car one.
Yeah.
If there was another car one, then there will be something that sets it apart from the original car one. For example, the way the window glass was broken in the infirmary will be different from how I broke it.
You mean when you used the fire extinguisher to smash the infirmary's window? So they knew you would do that? That's how they were able to imitate it in the new car one?
What? I must not know
I
something.
was set up to reach for that fire extinguisher.
Why, yes. Yes, you were.
The fire extinguisher was left in a conspicuous spot in the hallway. They wanted me to use it to break the window.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they pulled off swapping the first and fifth cars while in transit. It was all a trap to set me up as the culprit. Isn't that right? Zilch?
Yeah.
All right, we're almost there. Let's catch this culprit. That was a pretty solid deduction.
So, I need to do research, but is this the first of its series?
We're seeing your potential.
It's so strange. It doesn't feel like I'm learning this stuff, more like I'm remembering it. Maybe I was even a high-ranking detective in the WDO.
Now's no time for bragging. You still gotta catch him.
Right.
So, like, is this like the first Master Detective Archive, or is this like the third or fourth one? Which is why, you know, let's just move on. Let's just continue on here. We'll figure it out.
Everything feels different here.
This is just the calm before the storm. Be careful. You don't know what's gonna happen next. You know, making the first car look like the fifth was a really big trick to pull off. I'm surprised the train cars could disconnect and reconnect so smoothly.
The train's automatic operating system must have had it programmed before we departed.
Even the trick with the swapping train car?
No, I can still move. Okay.
It had to have been done automatically.
Well, it'd be easy for Amaterasu. They own the train.
That's what I'm worried about. Even if I obtain the truth here, won't they just ignore what I say and arrest me anyway?
I keep telling you not to worry about it. As long as you have the truth, the culprit can't escape.
Why are you so sure of that?
All right, we definitely got the loud.
What is this?
Looks like a fort to me. With this
A
kind of
pillow
protection,
fort.
I bet the truth is in there for sure. You just have to destroy it.
According to the wiki, there isn't a game before this, and it doesn't say anything about a sequel. Okay, so this is the first of its kind. Okay.
So the truth is here.
You can't have the truth. It's impossible to destroy this fortress. Just give up and leave.
Whenever a culprit takes a last stand like this, you know we're just a step away from unriddling this labyrinth.
Well, you know what? Moving on.
Time to show him how dangerous you really are. After all, he did try to set you up.
I'm not worried about that right now. We're so close to
Brace
the truth.
yourself.
We gotta do this.
All right.
Blackmail time.
All right. What are you gonna deep throat this time? Like pulling a sword out of her. throat. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's what I mean, chat. It's nice and snuggly right there. Six layers. Okay. Okay. That's not what I was expecting. We're King Cooping in this thing. We're heckin' Bowsering this bad boy. God, the Shinigami!
Shinigami's tutorial corner.
To overcome the last stand of a phantom, tear through all obstacles with a mega-size Great Onset Destroyer.
Let's do this, Master.
What an unusual run animation. Kick, attack, kick. Object closes in and the screen slows down. Press a button to attack it. Missing the input means failure, taking damage. Okay. So we have kick, tackle, jump. Okay. So kickballs, jump through walls. Tackle. No?
I see.
And this is going to be a jump.
Easy peasy. Watch out.
All right.
Your deduction is wrong. Go away.
Kick. No. I don't. What am I supposed to do with the balls? Tackle.
Come any closer.
Tackle. Tackles.
Switching the first
Tackles.
part is just your imagination. It's a completely baseless lie. There's no evidence they ever swapped.
Destroy the wall with a solution key. Open a solution key window. Pick a key. Contradicts the phantom statement. And boom slash with the master blade. Alright.
Use the solution key to smash
Why?
through the wall, Master.
There's no evidence they ever swapped. The destroyed plate. That's a good one. Coffee in the dining cord. There you are.
You're wrong. Huh? Come on. No, there are traces of a swap. The warped plate from Car 5.
The reason that plate was burned so thoroughly is because originally it said Car 1. Left as it was, it would have messed up your plot to make Car 1 look like Car 5. That's why you made extra sure it was burned beyond recognition.
What is going on with this? Okay. So we kick these.
It burns the plate to disguise it?
We tackle those. We tackle those. We tackle those. We tackle those. We jump at those. Okay.
Go away.
I think I got it.
Wait, get away! It just happened to be easily burned. But with it burned, you have no way of knowing what number car it was.
Okay, I think I got it.
So there's nothing backing up your deduction. You have no hard evidence proving that location was the first car.
Destroy the fortress with the solution key.
Solution key to boom kill him.
You have no hard evidence proving that location was the first car. Hurt to death. That might be it right there.
There is proof! The bloodstain on the inner lock of the infirmary in Car 5! The culprit probably didn't notice it. But I remember. It's my blood.
What?
When I was trying to get into the infirmary in Car 1, I cut my finger on the glass. When I reached through to unlock the latch, I must have gotten blood on it. But that bloodstain would have been hidden while the inner lock was open. probably why the culprit missed it. My blood, which was left behind in car 1, was found in car 5. This proves that someone pulled off the car switching trick. This is the truth of the case.
When not boom kill. Not boom kia. Just haya.
I'm not done yet!
That is yeet.
What? We still going? Let us boom kill you already!
If car 1 became car 5, then where did the culprit supposedly hiding in the infirmary go? You had to have checked the 5th car, but the culprit wasn't there.
Oh man, this is a lot of stuff going on.
Must
So
have been hiding somewhere in the 5th car, probably someplace safe.
spots selection. Where is Zilch hiding? There's quite a few places, but this would probably be the most likely. Because I was never able to open that door.
The culprit was hiding inside the main control room, which was locked shut the entire time. I didn't have the key, so I could never have gotten inside. I bet the culprit moved there from the infirmary while car 1 was running on the 2nd track. If the train's management company, Amaterasu Corporation, was involved, the culprit may have had the key. And then they hid in a blind spot I couldn't see.
That's a lot of speculation.
That's how they got past me.
No, it's not me. I'm not the culprit.
Great detective work. I'd call that a critical hit. He seems like he's barely standing. All that's left is to finish him off.
Finish him off? How do I do that?
Shove all your evidence into the solution blade and slash as hard as you can.
That's not what I thought was going to be said, but I'm so glad they actually went that route. Shove all the evidence. You know, never mind. Deduction denouncement. Okay, thank you for actually explaining it. Deduction denouncement is where the truth is made clear by thinking through all the deductions made until that point. Place the correct piece in the corresponding deduction gap to reveal the truth. Locked pieces can be opened by solving mysteries, so keep it up, up, up. Once every gap is filled with peace, the final revealing all mysteries will be unveiled. Everything has been leading up to this moment. Fire extinguisher, so okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, I think I got what else we had to do. Okay. All right. So let us change pages. Change pages. There we go. Okay. Okay, it's right to left in terms of the pages. I was pushing R1. I'm like, what's going on? So that means it's going to be in the top panel. No, it's going to be in the right-hand panel. Top left. Oh, yeah, top right. Okay. Basically manga style. Okay. It's going to take a little bit for me to get used to. Gather in card 2. Now I need to go to the evidence. Why are these locked? That's a funky baseline. You can just use the D-pad. Ah! Ha 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 ha! The D-pad! Hello, D-pad! Okay. Culprit smirks. Detective's drink. Culprit smirks. In the hallway, smashed. Knife and cushion. You have to put clues in to unlock the others. The number on the side shows how many clues you have to match up. Okay. All right. All right. So that means I don't think I'll be able to actually get everything until I start unlocking. Unless there's more, which I don't think so. Everyone else drank. He's all, yeah. Afix carries the body to the infirmary. Places the fire extinguisher. Locks the door. Does that kind of stuff. Okay. Knock out the drug. There we go. There we go. Affix body to the infirmary. Fire extinguisher. Lock on the inside. And bed Brett with corpse. Blackout under bed. Affix's body. Attachment to car 1. Okay, so then Culprit heads to the main control room. Train of detachment. Then we got car 1 is attached. When that happened, we had the power thingy. Alright. Pucci, Songe. Culprit moves to car 1. Exit the door. What did the culprit burn? There we go. Deploy. Let's see. And we have something there. Exiting tunnel. The question is, what happened after exiting the tunnel? Attachment of car 1. Alright, then we have human enters car 1, attached behind car 4, runs through destroyed car, burnt corpse, which body was found. What happens if I get something wrong? Car 1 was at Kanai. Amaterasu Express arrives at Kanai. Returns to being 5 car. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. So, who's the culprit? Oh, I missed one. Okay, what was this? The red herring, the knife. Yeah, I missed one, sorry. There we go. Mystery unraveled.
Step right up, step right up. 5 master detectives slain before their time, and Amaterasu Corporation has master in their sights. Truth bombs are about to be dropped. Time for the deduction denouement.
The incident unfolded aboard the Amaterasu Express, which was on its way to Kanai Ward.
Oh, I got him.
I rushed onto the train as it was about to depart. At that time, the train was made up of 5 cars.
All because you were fast asleep in the lost and found, Master. If you kept snoozing, the case would never be solved.
When the train started moving, it was only 4 cars long. The 5th and final one was left at the station.
And so, the culprit's scheme had already begun.
Okay.
Meaning Amaterasu Corporation was involved from the get-go.
On the train, the master detectives were gathered together in car 2. That was the dining car.
They even have chibis on the left-hand side, just for clarification.
And the culprit had already mixed a knockout drug into every drink there.
I bet the culprit was the first person on the train, so they could prepare in advance and wait for everybody else.
I felt unwell, and Melanie went to the trouble of pouring me a coffee. But after drinking it, I started to feel drowsy. I was hearing things at the time and thought that I might be seriously ill. But it was actually the drug.
So God yours truly was responsible? Sticks and stones may do nothing, but slander stings.
You know, you're actually still a figment of his imagination because he did get drugged and now he's thinking he's seeing the Shinigami. Come on, come on.
The culprit sent me off to car 1 in order to frame me as the killer.
I'm sure the culprit didn't expect you to get sick, Master, but since you look like a super easy target, they probably changed their plan and went after you instead.
Once I left, the other master detectives must have fallen asleep because of the drugged drinks.
The culprit then burned everyone to death.
That still doesn't make any sense, but
Setting all those master
go with the ride.
detectives on fire. On purpose. What a psycho.
This was when the culprit put their plan to frame me into motion. First, they carried Aphex's charred corpse to the infirmary in car 1.
The very first body we found.
Then, they deliberately left a fire extinguisher near the restroom I was sleeping in.
check it out. He's doing a similar gesture.
This was done to prompt me into smashing the door later.
Gotta have someone get inside somehow, or else nobody would find the body.
Next, the culprit entered the infirmary, locked the door, and laid down on the bed with Aphex's charred corpse.
The anime glasses move. Did I miss that? Maybe.
Jumping into bed with a charred corpse. And here I thought chivalry was dead.
Here I thought chivalry was dead.
Gentlemen, I'm actually a little jealous.
A knife and cushion created the red herring.
Hell of a way to pretend to be dead.
Furthermore, the culprit set the room on fire just as I was waking up.
While you were sleeping, I felt someone come into the restroom. They must have seen me then and timed it.
When I woke up in the restroom and went into the hallway, car 1 was beginning to fill with smoke.
Oh,
Okay.
that's some precise timing.
I caught a glimpse of Zelch in the infirmary, with a knife lodged in his chest.
But it didn't take long for the smoke to obscure everything.
That was when the culprit took out Aphex's burnt corpse, switched places with it, and waited for me to enter the room while hiding beneath the bed.
It's just like a magic trick, switching places under a veil of smoke.
Meanwhile, I found the fire extinguisher on the floor.
And
Smashed the window,
okay.
unlocked the room, and went inside.
Just like the culprit planned. And that's why they left the fire extinguisher there in the first place.
After the smoke cleared, I found Zelch's body, burnt to a crisp. At least, that's what I thought. The charred corpse was actually Aphex. The culprit had me completely fooled.
Bamboozled.
Must have been why they picked the time-consuming method of roasting someone to death. Plus, the body was about the right size.
I bolted out of car 1 after seeing the corpse.
The culprit was under the bed at that time. Huh. They probably laughed at you from there, watching everything unfold like they planned.
I went on to discover the charred corpses of the other master detectives. Around that time, the culprit came out from under the bed and went to the main control room in car 1. Controlling the train from there, they detached car 1.
Okay.
That caused the blackout and shaking, and the power source was switched over to the backup system. So when the train shook, was there or was there not jiggling wheels? Take a guess.
Moving on.
While the detached car 1 was running on a separate track, the culprit went to work, preparing to disguise car 1 as car 5.
What about the juggling?
Moving on.
First, Aphex's corpse was carried to the corridor, and the necklace removed earlier was placed back on.
Then the car 1 number plate was burned so that it couldn't be properly identified.
With everything in place, the culprit went into the main control room, locked the door, and waited for the train cars to reconnect.
At this time, the culprit was riding in car 1 on the other track, right?
Yeah, the train, which was only cars 2, 3, and 4 at the time, remained on course.
Jiggle, jiggle.
Since we were in a tunnel, I didn't even realize car 1 was moving alongside us.
The train we were on went through the tunnel with only 3 cars. When it came out of the tunnel, the car with the culprit in it attached to car 4. Now behind car 4, that car became car 5.
And the game didn't let me go back and search because the game is sneaky like that.
Technology sure is convenient.
The culprit, riding in car 1, attached it to the back of car 4. That caused me...
Additional shaking occurred inside my blouse, but the power stayed on.
mistook car 1 for car 5 and walked right in. The culprit wrecked it so much I didn't even notice the door I had smashed when I was in car 1 before.
I figured there'd been some kind of brawl. But that was part of the culprit's plan, wasn't it? Also, no one would realize it was actually car 1.
When I found the corpse, I deduced that it was Aphex from the necklace it had on.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just rediscovering the same charred corpse from car 1. The disguised corpse and the car switch completely fooled me.
Isn't that dead body? Oh, this is a despairingly brilliant idea!
When the train arrived in Kanai Ward, it connected to a different, prearranged car 1.
And with that, the train once again had 5 cars. So much attaching and detaching. What a stupid, crazy, elaborate trick!
Yes. Stupid crazy.
Peacekeepers were lying in wait at the station. As the sole survivor, I was set up as the one responsible for the murders.
And Amaterasu was in on it! That really turns me on!
Of course. Just of course.
You mean pisses me off, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
During that time, the culprit stayed hidden in the main control room of the disguised car 1. And waited for the peacekeepers to haul you in, Master. They were right there at the scene.
After warning all the master detectives, the culprit faked their own death and tried to frame me as the killer. It was a cunning, cold-blooded scheme.
And the evildoer who committed these countless contemptible crimes is none other than... Zilch Alexander!
It was you!
Isn't this what we're doing now? We're just pointing for an extended period of time?
This is the truth I've uncovered.
Still doing it. I mean, yeah.
Is that it? What's this?
It's the truth. It's the soul of the true culprit who made this mystery labyrinth.
Are you going to swallow it in your bosom or something?
Culprit. Wait, what am I supposed to do with this?
Prison wallet?
Now it's time for the main event. Here we go. It's my time to shine.
Well, we even have 3D models and
Bloodlust,
multi-shading.
overflowing despair. The brilliant soul of Shinigami shall expunge this cursed case. Death to all deplorables. Through into the vile mystery labyrinth.
Well, that's a noun. Well, I do get a lot of games just for the lulls. I guess that works too. So yeah, there's that. I mean, the game is all lulls.
Huh? We're back?
What are you talking about now? Your spirit shouldn't be broken. Yet. The peacekeepers will take you.
Yeah.
We have all the time in the world.
Huh?
Shinigami! Where are you? Nothing here's changed. What's going on?
It was mentioned that everything's going to be going exactly. You know what? Never mind.
Shinigami? Are you listening?
Oh. I think it was this. All right. Get him. Wait. I know who the culprit is. What? Okay.
It's
I pushed the
Zilch.
shoulder button.
He's still alive. He framed me.
What are you talking about? He's already dead.
Huh? But...
Shut up! This is not up for discussion. What a waste of time.
So due process doesn't mean anything.
Take him away.
Shinigami! Where did you go? This isn't what's supposed to happen!
I'm right here! You're so cute when you panic, so why head to enjoy the view for a bit?
Of course. Of course.
Stop playing around! Why hasn't the situation changed at all?
He must be hallucinating. Taking him down shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, they've established the Kanai Ward doesn't give a crap. Yeah, I agree, but still. It's just one of those things. Like, this is like a law on its own, so I can understand that.
Take him away. What? He's dead?
Looks like it's over.
Huh? What's over? Shinigami, what's going on?
There's always a price to pay. When I read the soul of the true culprit, the mystery labyrinth created by the culprit is destroyed. But as a price, the source that created the mystery labyrinth also perishes.
The source perishes?
That doesn't make any sense, but okay.
Don't tell me.
That's right, the true culprit dies.
Then that report saying Zilch, the true culprit, was dead.
Well, yeah, you wrote his name in the notebook.
And that solves today's mystery. The true culprit is as dead as a doornail.
I've seen living doornails, thank you very much.
Now innocent and free to go, Master.
No, not really.
Ending.
Not really.
Credits.
There's nothing happy about this. Zilch died because I solved the mystery, right?
Oh, got it. There we go.
Huh? He was a dangerous murderer who killed 4 master detectives. He deserved to die.
I mean, I don't think I'm completely free to go. Not even with Zilch being dead.
In that case, say exactly what I'm about to tell you to that gilded idiot over there.
Okay. Swank, did you just receive a report that Zilch was dead?
How did you know that?
Okay.
I thought so. If he was alive until moments ago, that changes things about this case. Someone who died in front of my eyes.
Mine eyes.
This is clearly an attempt by the culprit to disguise the truth. Don't tell me the peacekeepers lied to try to cover up what really happened. You didn't try to frame an innocent person, did you?
want? You think you can weasel your way out of this? You better not forget you're in Kanai Ward now. You're powerless before the might of the Amaterasu Corporation.
No, I didn't mean...
Hey, don't surrender so easily. You were so close.
That does it. You're under arrest.
I'm looking at that picture on the bottom left, and the hair popping off with the bald head. Nice, nice.
Listen, you got no right to remain silent, and you got no right to call a lawyer either.
What? I know. Kanai Ward, don't give a crap. I know.
Take him away.
No, wait!
No, wait.
Hold on just a second. Hey, excuse me. Do you have a minute?
I like that smoke as a thumbs down,
It's all
too.
good. Let's stop all the fighting. We both have to follow orders from the higher-ups, so let's not do anything that causes unnecessary tension. Falsifying evidence and testimonies is a drag when it comes time to do the paperwork, right?
How'd you hear
It's
this?
tough keeping things consistent. Just forget about all that and leave it to me, yeah? You know, I saw that the true culprit was alive and well just a bit ago.
What?
If you let us go, I'll cook something up in my report to the World Detective Organization. You don't want trouble, right? If the WDO floods this joint because of you. Your punishment might be kind of brutal. So, you know what to do. Leave things well enough alone, as they say.
The battle of the tobacco. It's the battle. Cigar versus cigarette.
Let's go.
Thank goodness that worked out.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Who is he?
Beats me?
Thank goodness that worked out. Thank goodness that worked out. All right, let's talk to this dude.
Wow.
Cigarette and Smokey.
I bet that was quite a long trip for you. Welcome to Kanai Ward.
Thanks.
You must
Oh,
be
handshake and everything.
Yuma Coco Head, right?
Coco Head. I'm not going to get over that last name.
I am. And you are?
I'm Yakou Furio.
Introductions of introductions.
I was born and raised in Kanai Ward. Just a humble member of the WDO.
The Wadu.
I'm the director of the Nocturnal Detective Agency, and the only detective agency in Kanai Ward. My office welcomes you. Nice to make your acquaintance.
Thanks.
I'm here. Thanks for coming in. You kind of missed quite a bit. You missed quite a bit.
So he's a detective from the
You
WDO.
missed quite a bit.
Finally, I've met an ally. He managed to turn away the peacekeepers, so he must be in high standing.
Really? He's clearly just some careless, middle-aged man. Oh, by the way, don't tell anyone about yours truly. You might have forgotten, our secret is included in the contract.
You know, if you sign a contract that makes you forget, you should probably keep the details of said contract within the old noggin.
It'd be terrible if you broke this rule. To be exact, your whole body would be drained of its blood.
Yeah, I would have a a discussion about this contract at this point.
Okay, I won't tell anyone.
Won't tell anyone. Does that mean you can write it down and give it to somebody? Or something? What if that something handed off that information that is not told to somebody else?
Well,
Loopholes.
even if you did, they'd just assume you're some crazy person.
Now, shall we?
Now,
By the
shall
way,
we?
I'd like to hear the details about this incident.
Right. I'm sorry to
Gata.
keep you waiting. It
Got
took a
the.
while to get through all the proceeding.
They practically interrogated you, right? Kanai Ward is completely shut off from the outside world. Communication devices such as cell phones are confiscated. Cameras are not permitted to leave Kanai Ward either. Even if you smuggle something with reception in, Kanai Ward is a dead zone. Thanks to all that tight closure, nobody's using this fancy station at all.
Did you say no one?
Yeah, well, we got a couple people here.
You show a lot of promise, considering how you handled that Amaterasu trouble. I was scared, to be honest. I don't want to deal with them if I don't have to. The thing is, the Peacekeepers always antagonize detectives. As a basic rule, never look them in the eye. They're always itching for a fight. Kinda like mad dogs.
Right.
Right.
Amaterasu Corp doesn't want the unified government or the WDO meddling in their matters. I even caught wind of them hiring a hitman.
Hitman?
They plan to wipe out any master detectives before they enter Kanai Ward. The result of which is this Amaterasu Express Massacre.
Massacre.
So Zilch was actually a hitman?
Nope. There was a real master detective named Zilch. He was murdered beforehand and used as a disguise.
Skin and
We were in
all.
the first car earlier. The real Zilch is laying dead somewhere in there. There was a separate first car at the station before you arrived, where Zilch's body was hidden. Then, the 4 train cars that you rode in would arrive at the station in Kanai Ward and connect with the fake first car. That makes a total of 5 dead master detectives at Kanai Ward's platform. With no master detectives left, you would be arrested as the only culprit. That was the plan.
They would go to such lengths?
And that's.
Absolutely. Even though the plan didn't work, we still lost 5 master detectives. Given the situation, I'm honestly surprised you survived, Yuma.
That's all thanks to me. You're so lucky to be haunted by yours truly.
You're so lucky to be haunted by yours
If there was
truly.
a real Zilch, then the number of people on board the Amaterasu Express, including me, that makes 6 people. The numbers still don't add up.
Correct.
I, Pucci, heard from the World Detective Organization that the number of master detectives on the train was precisely 5.
Oh, I'll explain that later.
Oh, I'll explain that later.
Anyway, let's leave this place. Wouldn't want to give the Peacekeepers any ideas.
Yuma's still learning he can count, yeah.
It's raining.
Hey, you're right.
That's the Wadu for you. The Master Detective. It's raining. Now, if he said it's spaghetti, I would be like, yeah, I can see that too. He still has no idea what's going on. It's spaghetti. Yeah, you missed the conclusion of the first mystery. You're gonna have to go back and watch it, or wait until I repost it on my archives.
Who's that guy?
Oh, the arms out and everything, but the flappy stuffs and all. They must be running really fast. Really fast. Arms out like this.
I see.
Results. Once the culprit is boom killed, you'll get rewarded based on how well Master did inside the mystery labyrinth.
Are you gonna remember all
You'll get a reward for each overall rating between S, S, and C. So I can't actually get an F. I want to avoid fail. Because I got my butt kicked. I got distracted by playing Little Kitty Big City. Unfortunately, that's not a physical game, so I can't do anything about that for the Let's Play. You mean like Little Kitty Big City is a short game? Is that what you mean? Or this is a short game? Because I'm according to the save file, I just finished the prologue. The prologue. Wish you would. It's so fun. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of games that are digital only that I would like to play via stream, but it's one of my rules. I know I can break it or bend it or any time, but it's actually a personal rule of mine. Like, I don't like having digital only games. So I have like my entire library of PS1 and PS2 games still because I still have the consoles to play it, and it's just I just don't like it. I want to have something in my hand. The Wadu versus the Amaterasu Corporation. Wait, did I just enter the prologue? Is that what that means? I just entered the prologue? This is the shortest game, and when you said you wrapped it up, I thought I meant the whole game. No, just apparently the pre-prologue are just wrapped up. Inconspicuous.
There's a place I want to show you. It's the best spot to learn about this town. Hey, relax. Don't be so nervous.
Bad touchy. 4, 5.
Come on, this way.
I need an adult, yeah. Later. It's wet out.
This way.
But my clothes glow. I don't want the attention. Phew.
No.
What a huge city. Maybe it's because of the rain, but it's a little eerie. Still can't run on command. But we just hit the prologue after all this time. 3.5 episodes, we finished the pre-prologue. That's ridiculous.
I love the view of the city from here. Oh no, it's like we're always right at the brink of dawn.
That's because there's a lot of lights.
Although, thanks to them, the real dawn will never rise here.
You mean Amaterasu Corporation?
Kanai Ward is isolated and out of the UG's reach. Now, Amaterasu is the de facto master of the city. None who wish to live in peace dare defy them.
Dare defy them. I defy them. I dare it.
Place, life can be pretty good here. Open an umbrella and the rain won't touch you. Wear a raincoat and you can even take a girl cycling.
What? Moving
You know
on.
what I mean, right?
No! I have no idea what you mean.
Kinda.
You liar.
A while back, our detective agency used this building. But we were kicked out due to a contract dispute. The owner claimed renting the building out to detectives made the place unpopular. In Kanai Ward, detectives aren't even allowed to have their own offices.
Really?
Really?
I don't know what the WDO is thinking, but I don't want this town to change. It should stay the way it is. It deserves some peace and quiet. And that's why this time around, I don't want any trouble. It's not easy to negotiate with these people.
What do you mean, these people?
I heard that Kanai Ward has a lot of unsolved mysteries.
John Walsh's sound just came to mind. I heard the Kanai Ward had a lot of unsolved mysteries.
Screams are part of the daily noise around here.
Really?
Kind of like church bells marking sunset.
Really? This place is peaceful, but the screams are a daily noise around here. It's kind of like church bells. This is a perfect place. You can have a good life if you know your place, making church bells. My
Whenever
gosh.
someone's smiling in that building, someone else in town is weeping.
And you don't want to change that?
However, we can't go punching the guy who's smiling.
In the face. We must avenge the guy with the underwear helmet.
We can only offer a handkerchief to those in tears before quietly slipping away. And nothing more is needed anyway. We're not superheroes or anything.
Maybe.
Just detectives.
Superhero detectives.
Just detectives, he says. But he has the resigned smile of someone who's given up. That look tells me exactly the kind of place Kanai Ward is, in a way words couldn't begin to describe.
This fuzzhead dude comes off like an irresponsible geezer. But there's an ominous aura around him. You only end up like that if you've seen death all the time.
You should know, right?
Could it be because of this city?
Maybe. Or maybe it's his old man stench.
Or maybe it's his old man stench. How do you tell he's an old man? His hair is not colored gray, and he's wearing glasses. There's no wrinkles, so is it because he's over 18 because he's smoking a cigarette that he's an old man? Is that it? Is that how you deduced his age?
Huh? Something wrong? Is there something on my gorgeous face?
Not a wrinkle, sir.
Back
Not a
in the day,
wrinkle.
I was rather popular with the ladies. You may think that means I'm no longer so popular. And you'd be right.
The rain, it never stops. Does it rain often here?
You've only been here just a few minutes.
Oh, this stuff?
The spaghetti?
Fatalists would tell you that all rain must come to a stop.
There's a contradiction here. His hood's off, but it's not at the same time. My fragile mind cannot handle such.
But for the past few years, the rain in our town hasn't stopped falling.
For years?
How did you contain the floods?
Yeah, years. It started around, 3 years ago? Weird, huh? Thanks to that, we have no need for weather forecasts.
A city where it's always raining. No wonder things are so dark and damp here.
The rain sure has changed things around here. Both the city and the people, too.
Yeah, you can definitely utilize hydroelectronics.
Supposedly, there's something in the rain that messes with our bodies and the environment. but it's all hearsay.
Man. The H2O, the carbon just, ugh.
No one knows why the rain never lets up, but it probably has something to do with Amaterasu.
Hide your electronics, hide your wife. A city where it's always raining. So, Seattle?
Kanai Ward. It's such a bizarre place.
Bizarre, huh? You're not gonna make it here if you find this shocking.
Yeah, you're going to get electrocuted.
You'll be seeing a lot
You're
of
gonna have shorts.
strange things in this city, I'll tell you that much. But there's no need to overcomplicate things.
I live to overcomplicate things, thank you very much.
Everything is just an illusion in the rain. Just think of it that way, and you'll be fine. Trust me, it's easier this way.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a valid question.
Well, now that I've finished showing you the town, let's head to the agency.
What agency? You're not allowed to have an office.
This place. There's a lot more to it than I thought.
Hmm? What do you mean?
Oh, it smells so good here. It's like there's a florist on every corner.
I mean, move on.
Really? I don't see any florists.
I didn't mean it literally. To me, nothing smells sweeter
And then wondrous corp bells.
than the stench of death.
I knew it. The church bells of death.
The stench of death?
There are gruesome mysteries all over this place. It smells so lovely.
All right.
That sounds so ominous.
Ominous.
Hey! The elevator's here!
Right, coming.
Now then.
Come on, let's go down.
Yes.
Oh, dear. It's not that type of game, is it? No need to be nervous. Nothing dangerous here anyway. Not if you have $5. Please wait a little longer.
Hmm?
You're not.
I totally
Not-
get it. It's fun
not
to
yet.
say no at least once when you get choices like this.
So I think this is the only thing we were able to look at, right?
No.
Because it's raining, looks a little eerie. And then that's it. That's all the stuff that we can investigate.
Now then.
Yes.
Okay, so at least it gives a check mark on options that I have actually selected, so I'll work with that. Point game. Special autonomous zone of Kanai Ward. I'm actually able to read something. Though initially a regional city, all of Kanai Ward fell under the control of the Amaterasu Corporation as the company developed it. There's actually more. There's actually more. I was never able to read anything before. Like in a blink of an eye, it would be changed.
This
Like it would
area
load.
is called Kamasaki District.
Kamasaki, huh?
It's the busiest and messiest place in all of Kanai Ward. In other words, it's a lively area.
Sure it is.
The neon looks magical blurred in the rain. If there really is an illusion in the rain, I think it'd be the street lights. I don't
I
have any
can't
memories
go
of the
any
scene, but
faster.
it still makes me all nostalgic. Perhaps I'm from a city like this one. Or maybe if you formed my mind into a shape, it looked like this place.
I can't go any faster. Why are you bowing? Why aren't you bowing? It's so inconsistent. Nope, still not running.
Isn't it weird how it's not flooded, given how it's always raining here?
Valid question.
It looks like they have a good drainage system. See? There's a drain leading to a pipe over there.
That kind of thing creeps me out. Just imagine what would happen if I got sucked in there.
You? Nothing.
Hey! There's a clown in the sewer staring at you!
What?
Clown!
Made you look!
Yeah, I agree. What?
I explained briefly, but basically, Amaterasu Corp picks on detectives. My colleagues and hired assistants all quit. They said working here as a detective was simply impossible.
So, you've been working as the only detective for the whole city ever since?
It's not like I could change careers. I'm a WDO detective, after all. Clients trust me to do the job. Although, most of my requests involve infidelity or finding lost pets.
What about unsolved mysteries?
The peacekeepers get to handle that. Detectives don't even get close.
Oh, interesting.
But now, things could be different since you're all here.
You're all, as in you? Everyone else kind of got burnt to a crisp.
Yeah, I got a feeling things will be a bit stuffy moving forward.
Kamasugai. Or Ki. Kamatsuki.
Is your agency up ahead?
Like I said earlier, detectives aren't allowed to work in a proper office in Kanai Ward.
Ugh, must we travel this nauseating path? I'm too blue-blooded for this.
Blue-blooded.
The other master detectives are already waiting at the agency. You're the last to join us.
Leather, huh?
Other master detectives? But everyone on the train died.
Thinking the same thing.
Thanks to that hitman hired by Amaterasu. The WDO anticipated interference. They prepared multiple routes for entry into Kanai Ward. They covered their bases. Other master detectives arrived from routes besides the Amaterasu Express. Both official and unofficial members traveled through these various routes.
I see. So it wasn't just the Amaterasu Express.
Amaterasu Corporation caught on and tried to interfere on all the routes. Granted, they deny any involvement.
Of course they do.
Some routes were completely stamped out. Yours barely made it.
That tragedy happened to others too.
Excluding you, there are 4 others who survived. Unfortunately, a lot of sacrifices were made. But as a result, you could say master detectives of the highest caliber have been gathered here. Each of you did outsmart Amaterasu and made it here after all.
The highest caliber? Hearing Master get complimented really annoys me.
What? Why? Valid.
I wonder what these surviving Master Detectives are like. So exciting, so mysterious.
That doesn't answer the question. Run. Go faster. Thank you. Alright. Riverbank area. A riverbank of a large river running through Kanai Ward. The river is wide and placid, but the water itself is terribly polluted.
Here we are.
Where's the agency?
It's right here. All right. Remember this, Yuma. The most important things cannot be seen by the eye.
You know, if you're trying to be hidden, big old neon lights doesn't help.
This is the agency?
I thought my eyes were gonna pop out.
It does when you're a city of nothing but neon lights. Okay, that's a good point.
Welcome to the Nocturnal Detective
And
Agency.
I don't know what that says. It could just be like pizzeria, but it could be detective agency, but I don't know what it says. I can't read it.
What, you expected something a bit tidier? I guess I wouldn't call this place clean myself. But isn't it awesome? Our own submarine!
Fine, Yakou. Valid.
Is this really it? Our office is a sub?
You've been assigned to a sinking ship of a detective agency.
Shut up, that's clever. Sucks. Like, don't have. Good one. Okay, moving on. So tomorrow's Mother's Day, but I'm going to. Oh. I was waiting for it to load. I wouldn't call this place clean. It looks actually pretty clean to me. Not like the cleanest, but it's not dirty. Oh, she's counting too. 1, 2.
Thanks for waiting, everyone. Our final new member has arrived at last.
There's supposed to be 5 other new members, but it seems like... never mind.
Watch it! Just come barging in here.
Sorry.
Don't come barging in here. He pushed a button and the entire sub surfaced. Nobody noticed that.
What are you talking about? This is my detective agency, isn't it?
Victory is mine. Pay up.
Don't sound too excited. No, really, I actually put in more excitement after your victory is mine. It sounded like a, oh, victory is mine. Pay up. That's what it sounded like to me. Come on. Enthusiasm, people. Enthusiasm.
Hold on, that doesn't count. It was an accident thanks to the chief barging in here.
Nonsense. You should have expected him to return from his errand. Moreover, you should have realized he was back when our submarine resurfaced.
What did I say?
When you put it like that.
With my logic, anything is possible.
Anything is possible. Just not your enthusiasm.
What are they fighting about?
Hey, what are you doing with those matches? No fire is allowed on my sub.
It's just a little game.
It's just a little game.
He strikes the matches one by one. He wins if he lights 10 in a row.
What? That's... What is the opposite of brilliance? Yes, stupid.
But if he fails even once, I win. And he failed. Thus, I get all the cash.
It's still stupid.
Hang on, it was lit. The chief opened the door, which blew it out. I succeeded in lighting it, so the game continues. Next is the 7th, right? Hey, Ref, how many matches was it? You can check by counting the number of chocolates on the table.
Sure thing. 1, 2, 3.
Hey, don't eat those! We're using them to count! How many are we missing now? 2 or 3? Come on, princess. How many did you eat? Be honest.
I'm not even sure she can count.
2 or 3. What comes after 3?
Really?
I never remember since I so rarely count that high. Please give me just a moment to recall it.
It's all ruined. Why don't you count the number of matchsticks you've used instead? Oh, right! I'll just count the matchsticks in the ashtray.
Chat. Really?
Why the hell are there so many? Didn't you say no open flames are allowed in here?
It's harder to quit than you think.
Master Detectives. Yes.
I remember. The number 4 comes after 3. So the answer is 4.
Okay.
Huh? But there is still a chocolate missing.
Hang on, there were more than 4 to begin with. Did you eat another one? Wait, you're eating it right now!
It is too delicious. So this is what commoners eat. Interesting.
Commoners.
It is simply heavenly.
When the most normal guy is reading a book, when the most normal guy in the room is reading a book inside the fireplace, you know you got some problems. If there are no open flames, why do you have a fireplace?
Anyway, time to pay up.
Enough. I'm using my authority as chief to end this game. And no more gambling. You understand you're in Kanai Ward? Don't give the peacekeepers any reasons to drop in on us. Virtue, honesty, and staying the hell out of trouble. That's our motto here at Nocturnal Detective Agency. Got it? Now then, I'd like to introduce you to our final team member. Yuma Coco Head. A round of applause, please.
Nice to meet you all.
I was hoping they'd be amazing detectives, but they all look kind of dumb. I wonder which one of them will die first. Or maybe...
Hey, knock it off! They managed to get past Amaterasu's attacks. I'm sure they're all amazing.
That's something.
Now then, Yuma, let me introduce everyone to you. First, the one sitting over there is Halara Nightmare, a great master detective. The first to arrive at Kanai Ward. The little match boy over there is Desuhiko Thunderbolt.
Wait, who's the match boy?
I have dimples. And be supreme.
The beautiful lady next to him is Fubuki Clockford. She is the heiress to the famous Clockford family.
A pleasure to meet you.
Does she have raindrop tattoos underneath, like, near her eyes? Did she shank people in prison?
One inside the fireplace.
What, fireplace?
But why there of all places?
He says it's calming in there. Anyway, his name is Vivia Twilight.
Twilight and Nightmare, huh?
Nice to
Nice to meet you.
Right. Now that we're all here, let's have a seat.
Yes, there's so much seating here. Let's all have one. You know, if we're going to have a meeting of the minds, we want to make sure we're spread out as far as possible.
Sit down right here.
It's a map with someone's memos stuck all over it. Looks like a map of the city. Can't wait to see what the next incident's gonna be. I think I can wait.
Yuma, I'm sure you're tired from your long journey. Go ahead and find a spot to sit.
Sure.
Halara is just sitting on her throne like a boss.
You purposely came over to talk to me? You're so kind, Yuma. Don't worry. They aren't avoiding me or anything.
Are you getting creepy needing adult vibes from him too?
I prefer to be alone. A place like this gives me a sense of peace and quiet. I want to die someday.
Really? Did you really just go?
I have no idea what to say to him.
Just give him some black hair dye and move on.
I see.
There are several books with difficult sounding titles. I wonder if they're used for research. Serious books for a fuzzhead to be reading. I don't think his hairstyle is related in any way.
That's not the right way.
Just sit down. I will when I finish talking to everyone and looking around.
Everyone on the train died besides you? That sucks.
Yes, and you all apparently knew because you were expecting one more member instead of
Had I
5
known
or
the
6.
Amaterasu Express, I would have solved it before anything had gone down. Damn. Missed the chance to show off my superstar self.
This short stack is so arrogant. I hate his guts.
His new name is Darkstar.
So you're the survivor from the Amaterasu Express massacre. You don't look like much.
It's thanks to yours truly. Otherwise, Master would have died right away. Yuma, do you like chocolate?
You know, this kind of makes me think of, do you like fish sticks? That's what this reminds me of. I'm wondering what the punchline is.
Yeah, a bit.
Did you know that chocolate grows on cacao trees? The sight of all those trees with their shining silver fruit must be so splendid.
I think the silver part is just the wrapper.
Huh? Does it not grow on the tree like this? Ah, I see. I thought I was peeling back its silvery husk. What a misunderstanding to make for an adventurer such as myself.
Yeah.
Adventurer?
Right. I am an adventurer and a detective. It is nice to make your acquaintance.
The only thing I believe is you escaped from prison or you got released from prison.
Nice
That's
to
all.
meet you too.
All right, let's have a seat.
Now, all remaining agents sent to the Nocturnal Detective Agency are here.
I'm going to turn it on auto so I can rest my
There are
hands.
a lot less of you than what we originally planned. Well, regardless of how many people we would have gotten, we'd still be no match against the Peacekeepers' numbers. So, we'll keep laying low down here and avoid provoking them, as we've been doing.
Huh? You want to stay submerged in this filthy river? I didn't come here to rot like sewage! I want to make a grand entrance, solve all unsolved mysteries, and become a superstar detective! Oh, and once I'm rich and famous, I'll make you all my assistants.
In Kanai Ward, solving cases won't make you famous.
Okay.
All information is controlled by the Peacekeepers. They simply conceal anything that's inconvenient to them. If you want to be famous in this town, it's much easier if you're a villain.
I see. Got it.
Wait,
Darkstar gets an
actually
idea.
do it. Don't instigate anything with those guys. Got it?
I'm just kidding around.
Why is the WDO gathering master detectives in Kanai Ward? What do they want us to do?
Honestly, I don't know what the WDO is thinking either. I just found out about this recently myself.
You didn't receive any instructions?
Not yet, at least. I'm hoping they'll call us eventually. But before that, there's something I need to verify first. Yuma, it's about you.
Me?
Huh? Me?
I heard the Peacekeepers talking and learned about it back then, but... do you really have amnesia?
Huh? Amnesia?
Yeah?
Yeah, seems like I do. I don't remember anything from before getting on the Amaterasu Express.
Ah, then you and I are alike. We are amnesia buddies, Yuma.
Huh? Fubuki, you too?
Indeed. I cannot remember what I had for breakfast. I cannot even recall how I got here.
I think you're just forgetful.
Don't make things even more complicated.
My apologies.
What is the source of your amnesia? Is Amaterasu Corporation responsible?
No, it doesn't seem likely. I was still at the station when I woke up. So you really don't remember anything? I'm surprised you got past Amaterasu's attacks like that. I probably can't tell him it's thanks to the pact I made with the Death God.
You better not. Talking about me breaks the contract.
I think I was just lucky. The Chief saved me in the end.
Well, you can work off your debt to me. So you really don't know who you are? In other words, you don't remember if you were a detective?
That's correct.
It's still uncertain if he actually is.
I got a letter from the WDO. And this outfit is definitely mine because it fits perfectly.
I don't doubt you. That's not what I'm worried about. I've already verified your identity.
Huh? You know who I am?
I didn't just daydream in the park and feed pigeons while y'all were heading here.
You probably
I
did,
checked the
actually.
routes everyone used and provided support wherever I could. Unfortunately, most of the info was kept secret, so supporting you was all I could do. At the very least, I did manage to obtain info about the Amaterasu Express. Then again, it was mostly thanks to Halara and Desuhiko since they arrived so early.
I got the passenger list from Amaterasu Corporation using my special forte. That ability is top secret, so I'm not gonna tell you about it just yet.
Of course it is. At least
Your name is
until
on the
a few more
passenger
minutes at
list.
least, right?
Once we knew your name, obtaining more information was easy. I researched the histories of everyone on the list.
This doesn't sound like something you need to hear.
What? Of course it is! I might finally get to learn about my past!
Mm.
So, who am I?
The truth might surprise you, but among the master detectives registered at the WDO, no individual with the name Yuma Cocohead exists.
See? It wasn't.
5 master detectives were summoned to the Amaterasu Express. That is an undisputable fact. But a detective in training was also summoned.
Called it.
Detective in training?
That's you, Yuma. Looks like you've been working toward being a detective at the WDO. You may be part of the organization, but you haven't earned your stripes just yet.
So, I'm not really a master detective yet?
That sounds about right. You never fail to amuse me, Master.
Despite that, I know for sure you'll be an integral part of our team. I reviewed your profile in the WDO records, and it turns out you have a phenomenal ability.
Phenomenal.
Ability? So I do have some sort of special power too?
Your record claims that you're a great
cook.
Would you mind making us breakfast from now on?
Your lake is made.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if I can. I don't have any memories about cooking. Never mind. Did my profile mention anything else? Like where I used to live or my personal history?
Or my
It didn't
personal
have any
history.
details of the sort. You see, you've got a trainee's profile, not a proper master detective's.
I see.
You know, trainees are kind of like appetizers at a
Holy
restaurant.
crime, there's so much dialogue. Is this a game or a manga?
You, the appetizer detective! Don't worry, I'll do my best to train you from the ground up to be a great detective.
What's wrong? There's nothing to feel ashamed about. Everyone starts off as a trainee. Also, not everyone can use their forte from the get-go. Though some are born rather gifted. Still, no matter how much talent you have, you require the right training to make the most use of your abilities. No matter how smart they are or how dexterous their fingers, no surgeon dives straight into surgery. The same goes for master detectives. If you want to do things the right way, you have to learn it.
So everyone here also trains at the World Detective Organization?
The WDO requires a 2-year training period for all agents, no exceptions. During that time, the agent's paranormal disposition is honed into a forensic forte, specializing in investigation. And those who manage to develop their forte are certified as master detectives.
Like me. Plus, once you become a master detective, you get a detective deed from the WDO.
By the way, not all detectives working for the WDO are master detectives. There are regular detectives, like myself, who don't have fortes.
Oh, really?
I still got my detective deed. It doesn't say master detective on it, but it still holds the
Wow.
same weight.
So, okay.
A forte
Am I going to
also
play a
demands
game
an
eventually?
innate talent. Some people will never develop it, no matter how much effort they put in. But that doesn't mean they can't be a detective. Anyone can get a detective deed as long as they complete their training.
So, is that my case as well? I don't think I have any special abilities.
There is no record about your forte. You could be like me and have no special powers.
Leave the Texas exposition alone.
But
Uh-oh.
Who cares about that? You've got me, Master.
Look, there's no need to be so down about having no forte of your own. That has nothing to do with whether you're a good detective or not.
Sorry, I had to sneeze.
Even a kid or a delinquent can be a master detective if they're good at one thing. But detectives with no special abilities must pass basic testing with flying colors before they're certified. So, in fact, you could say those without special abilities make better detectives.
tooting your own horn, old man.
But being both a capable detective and a master detective would be even better. Such as myself.
You're tooting your own horn, too.
Anyway, whether you have an ability or not, the fact remains that you've been striving to be a detective.
So, I wanted to be a detective.
Also, keep in mind that
All right,
despite
I'll leave it
being
alone.
a
I'll leave it
trainee,
alone.
you were given a directive. That's pretty impressive. You must be quite capable. I mean, master detectives were killed, but you managed to survive.
I'm not sure if that's right.
I am sure you shall eventually remember all that you have forgotten, Yuma. Although, I still do not remember what I ate this morning, let alone yesterday's weather.
It was raining. It's always raining.
Oh, right. Is she this dumb on purpose? I think she's putting on an act. Maybe she's a giant skank. It's boom kill time if you fall for her, Master.
I didn't do anything.
By the way, my agency treats both trainees and detectives as the same thing. To all you master detectives, you better not drop your guard or the rookie here's gonna steal your thunder. Got it?
Go ahead and try. Too bad for you, rookie. I'm gonna take all the medals.
I have
That is
redesign.
Darkstar. I seriously think so.
You senior detectives sure are a handful. Vivia, anything you'd like to say to the newbie?
Hello.
Not really.
No, not really. Okay.
A call?
That's the direct line to the World Detective Organization. So, they're finally contacting us. All communication in Kanai Ward is shut out from the outside world. So that phone is rather special. And obviously, it's kept secret from the Amaterasu folk.
If they're contacting us, maybe they'll finally give us our orders.
Go ahead, rookie.
Huh? You want me to answer?
Master!
There we go. So, that is a phone. Very special phone. Because phones are not allowed. So that means it needs to be hardwired because it was mentioned that okay, we're gonna stop that right there. Because it was mentioned that no mobile or no cellular, no wireless can come through. So it's a sub that can't move, otherwise it loses the phone. Weird. So I want to explain one thing. My now that we've actually completed the prelude, no, the prologue. I actually thought it was a training session to certify him as a detective, and it was going to be a ruse by the other five, kind of like a test as it is. I kind of gathered the swapping of the cars. I called that, especially when it came to the map, and so I got that pretty early on. So I thought that was actually going to be used, and all the rest of them, like they weren't really dead type of deals, especially since they A made such a big deal on the specific costume designs, and B gave them all little snippets on the load screens about certain things, like Mr. Z's like staff or something like that. They had something special for that. So I thought they were going to be coming back, and I didn't expect them to officially be KO'd. On top of that, I also didn't expect a full-on death note, not just like a small reference of a death note, like a full-on. Well, you figured it out, so his name's on my note and done. So I didn't expect that either. So yeah, yeah. But that was my general theory. I wasn't entirely incorrect, but I was not correct either. But I kind of got how everything was done, just not the reason why. But it is what it is. By the way, Holy smokes, Saturday. It's time for Chinese. It's time for Chinese food. Yeah, that's what I'm having for dinner. That's why I didn't talk about it. It was planned. It was planned. So that just about does it for this episode. If you enjoyed the content, like, subscribe, notifications, comments, or I don't know, burn a one on a random car, whatever. YouTube, Twitch, Discord, wherever you're watching from wants you to do nowadays. Check out my website, JPEdgar.com. Got my books, my blog, my merch, like holy smokes here, and my stream schedule. Just a reminder that my live stream and my archives are all separate channels, and those links will be in the description. Not in the description, but in the description. You get what I mean. You get what I mean. Whatever, right? I will leave the detective exposition alone. I will try to go along for the ride. But thank you for coming in. I really do appreciate it. You keeping me company, making fun of me, setting me straight, helping me out with this game because I have no idea what's going on. Regardless, I really do appreciate it. And like always, more ridiculous to come.